Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. And I'm here because I got good stuff to share with you. Some of you have perhaps reviewed one of my videos entitled The Promised Land. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that promised land for these few moments. Someone might say, well, what is the promised land? Well, the promised land is what we call home. You know what home is. Home is that place where there's comfort. Home is that place where you can relax. Home is where you can let your hair down. Home is where everything is all right. Now that's the promised land. Now people have talked about the promised land forever and ever and ever. One major time when they spoke about it was supposedly when the children of Egypt, the Hebrew children, had gone out someplace, slipping out of bondage, going to a promised land that never occurred. And I'm sure even here in America, I undoubtedly believe that at one time they called it the promised land. And for so many people, it has been just that, the promised land. But the promised land that I want to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, is the promised land that is an expression of home. Can I tell you about that promised land? That promised land is a gift from creation. That promised land is a gift from creation. It is as much a gift as the earth is, for it exists without the input of any man or human as much as the earth does. And those resources qualify to meet whatever needs humankind may ever have as far as usage from the beginning throughout the end of time. Other resources necessary for the creation, the fulfillment of the process lies with the humans themselves, we, the human beings. There are things that are common amongst us as far as our survival is concerned. And since it is common for each of us to survive, and we each know how important it is, and we do know that the resources are given. So it is a blessing to find the best way to assure that no one is without food, ever. No one is without food. The basic requirements for survival: clothing and shelter. Beautiful. Education. It's very important. Health care from the womb to the tomb. Transportation, infrastructure, and all that the human mind can imagine. And yet, each individual that would benefit from any part of that which is in existence by the hands of humans engage in the process through a career of their own choosing that allows them their greatest joy. So hereby engaging, the earth, the reservoir of goods and services, never runs dry, always overflowing. That humankind in this home, this promised land, our home, we can achieve whatever we need, whatever we want, whatever we desire. And we do this, my friends. As a result, we experience the fulfillment of peace, the fulfillment of prosperity, the fulfillment of freedom, the joy of life, and the dreams. The dreams. Your dreams come true. And guess what? By doing this, creating the promised land, where every individual, not just here in America, but all over the globe. You see, my mission has been to try to find some way to explain to a people who have always been taught that there are certain things that are too good to be true. And what I have just explained to you definitely would be considered by those who've been taught never to accept this as real. And so this falls in the category of too good to be true, and it's also a trick. If they say it's too good to be true, it means, in this case, you ought to get it. It's right on time. And so what I am hoping that you would choose this way of going into our future, getting rid of all of the reasons for lying, for cheating, for stealing, for killing, for hating, for being a racist, a bigot, for being a terrorist, warmonger, all of these things, my friend. These are the designs of people who have been denied God's understanding. These reflect all over the world what men lack, and that's an understanding in God. This is not a condemnation to the degree is asking for a punishment. It's not a put down. It's just the fact that when you are denied education, when you are denied the truth, then all you have is a lie. And if you've been walking to a lie all your life, the truth can't just come by and straighten a lie out. Sometimes it takes pain. Sometimes it takes suffering. Sometimes it takes people to go through what the people in Ukraine are going through before they understand how essential it is to be involved in getting rid of pain and suffering wherever it exists. Because sometimes if you wait until it comes to your door, either everybody else is already destroyed, or they are so glad that you are finally getting yours. All of that is a result of being led by ignorance, by being led by stupidity, by being led without an understanding of God. So this promised land that I speak to you about, ladies and gentlemen, it's one that you must create. This is nothing you can buy. And this is nothing you can die and go someplace and someone is going to give you heaven. You even heard in your own scriptures that heaven existed for angels and they were corrupted. And they were supposed to be in the highest order. So anybody that's going back up to heaven, as far as I can see, I'm just telling you as far as I can see, you see whatever you want to see because you got to have your own understanding with God, is that he got to be real. You say you want to go to heaven, prove it. Start building it now. Start building it now. And be willing to lay your life on the line before you let anything tear it down. Prove it. And then you don't worry about if you're going to heaven. You don't worry about any of that. because you're taking care of business right now. And what is important is what's happening right now. Nobody worried about the future. You're talking about a heaven. Now is the time to build it. Okay, I think I'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to make sure that you get some impression of what I mean when I'm talking about creating the promised land. Not expecting anyone to give it to you, but working together collectively as one to build it so you can be feeling at home. Thank you.